bad choice.
So what?
I'm owning it. I'm owning that I made a bad choice.
But owning it and not taking action.
I'm not taking action. I own that.
Amazing. Amazing.
I'm suffering that.
You are. You're going to pay a price if you stay. And you're not going to like the price. But I understand once you get in there, because in the fallen state, we get into those relationships, and then we become emotionally attached, it's hard to let them go. Even though nothing coming out of it, it's still hard to let go. But you got to let it go. And then you... Good morning. Welcome to church. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line, and I want to hear your questions and comments today because we're here to fellowship. And good morning to everybody here. So let me get something real clear. We are here to fellowship. I'm not here to teach. I am not a teacher. And the problem is you've been taught so long by everybody and their mama, you've lost the reality of knowing for yourself. And that's one of the things I want to talk about today, all right? So I'm glad you're all here. And one thing I want to get out of the way real fast is the Jussie Smollett situation. How many of you heard about that? Oh, good. Everybody. Everybody and their mama. What do you think about the Jussie Smollett situation? And you can be absolutely honest.
I think it's evil.
And what makes it evil?
Because he did it to incite and stir up anger in people towards whites.
Yeah.
And it's so obvious, and if you can't see it, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And people are still defending it, and I don't know why. It's so
Isn't
obvious.
that amazing that people are still defending it?
It is. I really don't know why.
It goes to show that battle, though, between good and evil. There are people who serve evil, and there are those who serve good. And the evil ones are supposed to defend it.
But even if the evidence is there, why do you think they continue? If the evidence is clear on what he did, he's been arrested. Why do you think they still continue to defend?
Because they are of their father, the devil. It's not in them to be honest. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're representing evil. And then the people, men and women of good are supposed to be, no matter what evil does, stand up for good. So they literally can't help it. They are doing their job. We just have to do our job. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing. Is this your first time here?
Yes, first time.
What's your name?
Jason.
What is it?
Jason.
Jason. I'm glad you're here, man.
Thank you.
Any question why you had a mic or comment or anything?
No.
Oh, okay.
No questions. Not right now.
right.
Maybe about your book, but I guess we can do that later.
No.
I wanted to buy some books.
Oh, yeah. You can do that later. We'll definitely help you later.
Thank you.
All right. What did you think about that? Chanel, what did you think about it when you first heard it? Let's go to Chanel first.
Has he been proven guilty?
As a bat,
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I thought it was just propaganda, and I think
you thought what now?
propaganda.
Did you believe him at any point?
No, when I initially saw the interview he did, yeah, I felt like there were holes in his story, but yeah, I didn't believe it right
Yeah.
away.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What did you think about it, sir, in the white shirt?
I think it exposed his racism towards white people.
Yeah.
I think that what surprisingly is I didn't hear anybody call him out on his racism except Trump when he tweeted it
Yeah.
directly to him. And so it's just putting him out there on Front Street, exposing his racism, for the world to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
they wrote
an important thing.
Yeah. They wrote him out of the movie, TV show, whatever he's in.
Right.
The Empire, they wrote him out now. He's gone.
Right.
Ain't no use in praying for him no more. He gone. That's an amazing thing, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and finally, America is taking notice of how racist the left is.
Yeah.
In modern times.
Yeah.
Against the right.
Amazing. This young lady here, what did you think about it when you heard it?
I'm not too sure. Is that the one with that actor, right?
Yeah, the black.
I didn't even know about
homosexual.
it until he told me about it.
Oh, you didn't know about it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I don't know.
You don't watch the news and stuff?
No, not really.
Oh,
So
you're
I don't
better
really-
off. That's how you hold on to your sanity. Right on. Good for you. What did you think about it? Look like Joel. Do you know you look like Joel?
I've been getting that lately.
You look just like Joel. Because you are, what's your race?
Creole.
Oh, Creole too, as Joel. Just imagine when Joel get married, have babies, he's gonna have Creole babies. All right, go ahead.
Well, I saw right through it when the story first came out because one, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
In Chicago, aka Chirac, a MAGA, it's MAGA country. I was like, that makes no sense. And then furthermore, it was like below 0 degrees.
Yeah, it was too cold out to be
Right. So
talking about Trump, mega hat.
yeah. So he's throwing bleach and bleach is supposed to be freezing.
Yeah.
And then ironic, coincidentally, he has a noose around his neck. So it was full of it as soon as the story came out. So
Yeah. When he added a noose onto it, I knew it was a lie. Because Trump supporters are not going to put a noose around your neck. They don't even attack you. Very well, man. Anybody, right here. Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. My perspective on it is in agreement with you. This is all a spiritual battle.
Yeah.
It's not what we see. It's much more than what we see going on.
Did you believe it at all at any point?
I didn't pay attention to it at first. I thought it was just like something very strange.
Yes.
Then I noticed some things. The key ingredients to me are, number one, the city that it comes from. I noticed as well, it's in Chicago. There's a few cities in our country that are obvious just hubs of that evil spirit.
Yes.
Chicago's one of them. And then the homosexuality, and then all the racism, and then the fact that he's involved in television. I mean, he's full of that evil spirit
Yes.
that we're fighting against.
Absolutely, man.
Another hub of that evil spirit is New York City, by the way.
Yeah.
We know that. They own all the banking industry, the television industry. Donald Trump comes from there.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is full of that evil spirit as well.
You think so?
100%.
Amazing.
Yes.
The great white hope.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back to that. Why do you say he is?
Trump?
Uh-huh.
Well, he is the embodiment of that evil city of New York.
In what way? What's the proof of that?
Well, the fact that he built his Trump Tower right there. The fact that he's loved
The
on
fact
television.
That he built, does he live in New York?
Yeah.
Where else will you build a Trump Tower?
He's actually not from New York. He came to New York from New Jersey.
But does he live in New York? Though?
Oh, Queens, thank you.
Yeah.
From outside of New York City.
Oh, okay.
But he came there, built his big golden tower. He's the embodiment of Mammon from the Bible.
Who is Mammon?
Mammon is like the god of greed
Oh, where's Mammon now?
and material worship. It's here among us.
And so you think because he built the Trump Tower there, because he's wealthy,
And because he worked for Jews.
because he worked for Jesus,
The Jews.
he worked for the Jews?
The Jews who own all the money that he uses to build those things.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have money?
No.
Well, no wonder.
Yeah. That's why.
You love the Jews?
No.
You don't love anyone then?
Well, let me explain to you what I mean. Because the Jews aren't people. The Jews,
The Jews aren't people?
that's right.
What are they?
Well, like you said, all isms aren't real. And Judaism
Are you
is
white?
an ism. Mostly.
You white?
Mostly.
I'm glad that you bring this up because my concern is that young white males are growing up now hating the Jews. And
They're
feeling-
finding out that
Let me-
Jews have ruined
let me
our
finish
entire
this
world.
point. Let me finish this
Okay.
point.
They're finding out
Young
real
white
fast.
males are hating the Jews
Nope,
and
no.
blaming them in the same manner that black males and females are blaming white people, and you guys don't realize you're headed down the wrong road. It's amazing you don't see that. I don't care that you disagree with the Jews or whomever, but you're not supposed to hate.
Well, I didn't say hate, you did.
But
and that's
no.
a leftist tactic. You just brought the word hate into this, and I didn't.
Anyone that blames
Lesbians, feminists, racists bring in hate. You just did.
Hold on a minute. Anyone that blames someone else for their failure, and that's what the white guys are doing now.
No, we're not.
You're blaming, and that means that you're a beta male.
We're not blaming them for our failure.
Real men are
We're
male.
recognizing that they've
Let me
infiltrated
pass the
our
mic
good
on.
world.
I don't have time for this. I got some other stuff to do.
Look, he's gonna shut me up because I brought it up.
Give him the mic.
He just took the.
No, I don't want to debate about all that stuff. But white male, hold on a minute, sir. You come with no, you hold on. All right. White males are hating the Jews and blaming them in the same manner that the blacks are blaming the whites. And they're going to end up down the same road. Because he just said he didn't love the Jews. And if you don't love one person, you hate everybody. And that is proof that, look, if you don't be quiet, you have to leave. So you come in with a stupid agenda, you're not coming to understand. All right? I don't mind talking about this, but I'm not going to debate you or argue with it. Not today. You can call the show if you like to debate it, but not now.
I've called a lot of times.
Oh, you have? What's your name again?
I never get through. It's always busy signal.
Oh, okay. But anyway, and then with this Justice Smollett doing this thing that he's doing to create this anger and blaming white people, if we don't get rid of this anger, there will be a race war. And that's what the enemies want. They want a race war. And as soon as you get to fight one another in a race war, it will come. They're going to pass laws that are going to put all of us in jail. We're going to lose all our rights and everything, because that's what the government wants. It wants to control us. Because the government can really stop all this crap if it wants to. It allowed it to happen to get men like that and black people to fight each other. And that stuff that Justice Smollett did is pure evil. And that's what it's all about, folks. That's why I'm encouraging you to get over your anger so we can not have a race war. Because if we stand up and tell the truth, then there will be no war. All right? But a lot of white guys are getting into this stuff, and it's unfortunate. Right here. You had your hand, right? Yes. It's so unfortunate. And you can look at the black community, even if you are not of God, can't you just kind of look at what has happened to them, how violent they are, how angry they are, how messed up the families are, how they're constantly blaming everyone. And now they're setting white people up. There have been so many cases where white people have been accused of racism, but the blacks did it themselves. They set it up at college campuses and the Duke Lacrosse and Tawana Brawley, and it's a temptation for Satan. But this is some serious stuff, and after that boy did what he did, and then I hear these white guys blaming the Jew. How you gonna blame the Jew? Even if the Jew owned everything, what was wrong with you that you let them own everything? Why didn't you see it? Well, why were you asleep and let someone take your stuff, you know? But anyway, go ahead. Go, no, don't yell out. You can't do that. You're off mic. Yes, sir.
Just to remind everybody, the Jussie Smollett case is not about Jussie and it's not about his career. He's closely tied with Cory Booker and Kamala Harris, and they just pushed through that anti-lynching bill.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to make it until that story came out, and then they closed the deal.
Did it make it through?
Yeah.
They've already voted it in?
Did you realize that lynching wasn't illegal prior to that? I mean, so just a few months ago, I could lynch people all day, and it was okay, but now, we all know.
But I didn't even know. I know that I knew that Booker and Kamala Harris and Tim Scott, a right-o Republican, had tried to get it through, but I didn't know it went through.
It went through.
Amazing.
And it'll expand into more hate speech laws.
Yeah, it will.
And that's undermining the First Amendment. And that's the whole goal of all of this.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you're asleep. They imprison you, and you don't see it coming. You think you're fighting good and just causes, and you're not. You don't see that you're being set up. That's amazing. I didn't know that bill got through like that.
And that's why it failed the first time.
And then the white people were scared to say no to it. That's what it was, too.
We don't want to get
Especially since that incident supposed to have happened, and they rushed this bill there. How you gonna tell the black people no? The white people said yes to that, hanging themselves. And they don't see that they have been set up by the blacks and the black leadership and others. It's crazy. It's so weird what's happening. But it's so much fun. It is so much fun. Anything else? Oh, what did your mama say after she left it last time? Did y'all hear his mama? That was amazing. When she said the part about masturbation, I was done. I was like, this is not a bar.
She come around.
What did she say when she left?
Not a lot. Not a lot. She left without saying much, and she texted me that she'd been doing some hard praying and was trying to figure it out.
She's been doing some hard praying?
Yeah.
Tell her don't pray too hard. That's the problem. I was really impressed the way you dealt with her, though. She didn't get to you. You didn't seem to be afraid of her anymore.
No, nothing.
Were you surprised you were not afraid of her?
I guess in comparison, but no, nothing phases me or bothers me like that ever.
What was it like for you and her before you overcame the anger?
Well, I cut ties a couple of years ago and built some distance, and that I think released a lot of the holds that were there, and so yeah, my identity wasn't mixed up in it.
Yeah.
I'm me. That's that.
Did you go and forgive her?
Yes.
How did that go?
You could surmise.
Yeah, I can.
It went. It went. That's all that matters. It went.
Yeah. It's amazing what our parents can do to us, huh? It's like we were living with the enemy. It's mind-blowing. Well, I'm glad, man, but I hope she'll come back.
Maybe.
Does she teach Sunday school or something?
No, not
Because she said she taught the Bible or something.
She teaches some Bible studies and stuff with their church.
She teaches Bible study at the church?
At the home, on Wednesday nights or whatever, I think.
Can you imagine that? A lady teaching a Bible class that think that the vagina should be working like that? All in the name of Jesus. That is amazing. But all kind of weird things are happening today because men are weak. It really is. That's why it's happening. All right. But right on, man. I'm glad she came. Hopefully she'll come back.
Yeah, it was a nice experience.
Right here. Oh, let me ask you, did you believe, right here, come back. Did you believe Jussie Smollett's story at all at any point?
I know I got excited about it as soon as I heard it, because it was really easy to see the outcome.
Yeah.
And I knew it would be like 10 points on our side.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've lavished in it from the beginning.
Did anybody believe it at all? Not for a second. Oh, good. That's amazing. That's good. Yes, sir.
One thing I love about coming to this place, Jesse, is that you always allow it to be a two-way street. You talk, people talk.
Yes.
You're fair.
Yeah.
But some people come in here and try and blast whatever they want to say to you, and I find that a bit disrespectful. But let's keep it respectful here. Is my message. But this Smollett
But
thing.
I don't mind that people come with their anger and
Not at
stuff.
all.
I
I
understand,
know that.
but it's not a talk show where they come and just want to just push
Yeah.
this stuff on me.
Yeah, I like the respectful place that we have.
Yes.
But I was going to say the Smollett thing, it's obvious how ridiculous it was, right? But do you know that his father is Polish-Russian? You can't get more Caucasian or whiter than that. And he's denying his father, and his mother is obviously black, and she was part of the Black Panther stuff back in the day.
Oh, well, no wonder.
But he's denying his father completely. Does that counts?
Yeah.
By what we're learning here.
That's right.
Like your father doesn't exist?
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Look, you can leave. Goodbye. Yeah, goodbye. When you're ready for a change, come back, but for now, goodbye. All right, goodbye. Goodbye. Get him out. You got to go right now.
You could have waited your turn, bro.
All right, go ahead.
Well, that's the disrespect I was talking about, and he did it again. You know what? It's just ridiculous how he's denying half of his family background.
Yeah.
So he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I want to use other words about him because he could have caused a lot of problems, but it's good that he's exposed. But he's sick. He's got a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what happens when you don't have fathers. I'm telling you, folks, weird things can happen to you. Amazing. Yes, ma'am. Right here. You were out of the country?
Yes, sir.
Oh, welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Were your wife happy to see you when you got back?
It seems so, yes.
Yeah, she missed you.
Yeah, me too.
We had an amazing women's forum on Thursday night. It was really something. And you can tell that the ladies are changing. There was one lady there, without getting all into it, she talked about how she didn't like me when she first came. She's like, no, I don't like you, right? But then she thought about it and she started to examine things and she woke up and it's been amazing. And she have friends that are kind of, are in the fallen state, but she can now see where they're coming from and just be honest with them and how her friends are reacting to it. And I bring up that point because once you wake up, your friends are not going to like you. Some will that want to wake up, but others won't. But don't be afraid to let them go because people have the right to be wrong. They really do. And you don't have a right to be angry at them for being wrong. They have a right to be. I don't care if it's my kids or my dad and my mama, even though they're dead. My aunt or anybody, if they want to be wrong, you can be wrong. No sweat off my brow. Even God doesn't care if you be wrong. He'll warn you, but if you don't listen, he'll let you end up on Skid Row. He's not going to force you to love him. He just won't. And I want you guys and ladies to remember that. Don't try to impose upon people the truth because they have a right to be wrong. And don't be mad at them when they're wrong. Really. Because some people have to suffer through it. Some will wake up and others will die. They won't wake up. And there's nothing you can do about it. So remember that. Don't be forcing yourself. Yes.
So I just wanted to say with the Jussie Smollett, I think it magnifies how we're easily manipulated through our emotions.
Yes.
I'm really angry about it now because I disagree. I'm really angry. I'm really emotional. This hurt me. Let me write a huge blog about it.
That's
When
right.
you don't even really have the facts. It's
Yeah.
just, I'm mad, so I'm going to act on it.
Very good point. We got to overcome the spirit of anger. Anger is evil. Whomever have told you that anger is good, that you can control it, that it is natural, they lied to you. It is not natural. It is an evil spirit that make a home in you as a result of being once you become angry at your parents. You lose your way. It's so amazing. I won't tell y'all who told me this, but I just want to give you an example of anger. So when I was talking to some friends yesterday about sex and stuff like that because they watch me all the time. And one person, a Christian, told me that God is sex. Have you heard that before? I'm like, God is sex? Will you come on my show and say that? At first they said yes, but then they said no. I never heard that God is sex. How many people think God is sex? You could admit it, no problem. He said God made everything, so God made sex. How many people believe God made sex? Oh, look at all the freaks. Y'all believe, let me see that again. Wow, I got to move a little faster then. That's amazing. I have never heard that God made sex. Amazing. Let me get this one. Oh, Ed, you had a question. Come here first.
What about this?
Right. Go ahead. What you're talking about.
The subject is past now.
I'm going to come back to it. I got to hear this God sex thing.
Maybe I believe sex is God. I mean, I would have believed that at one point.
You believe sex is
When
God?
I was 15 years old? Yeah, sure.
But what you about to comment on something else. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say.
We'll come back to the sex and God thing.
I was just going to say that I was hoping for what we kind of have forgotten about, due process. I mean, feeling one way or the other about this. I heard it and I go, let's hope that the media and everybody else, and they couldn't, but could hold back long enough to find out what the facts really were.
Yeah.
That was one thought. And in this case, when the police chief came out and said this is a lot of baloney, that he had done his investigation.
Right.
That was a good thing. So due process is missing these days.
Yes.
And if only the media could work with that. The other one is, I definitely found that I felt that just because Trump is president, he's saying some of the things he's doing, people are much less afraid of calling BS on something like this. They're going, I don't believe this. I think people are standing up now saying this was a lot of baloney.
Yeah.
And just because he's black, they're not being, and they may be white, they're not being called racist necessarily. They're
Yes.
being called racist, but there's enough people on their side. So those are two things I saw about it. I looked at that, I go, let's find out. You can believe that a couple people beat up a guy. You can believe that, but when you read it, it sounded weird, right?
Yeah.
But
I didn't believe that. Though,
the headline itself, yeah, okay, some guy got beat up.
Right.
But, and some people, I mean, I've known enough folks that got into fights drunk on a Friday night and done stupid things. I've known that happens.
You ever done that?
No. But
You ever wore blackface?
No.
I wore a blackface once.
No.
Did y'all see that?
That was like Al Jolson, 1929. I mean, that's even before me, if you can imagine.
Did y'all see that all these white people been wearing black faces over the years? Because it wasn't a big deal. And so at first the white people were like, no, I didn't wear a black face. Now all over, the entertainers have worn them, politicians have worn them, even Whoopi Goldberg's ex-boyfriend wore one. And she was sitting right there looking at it and thought it was funny. Because in those days when men were men and boys were boys, it wasn't a big deal. It was not a big deal. And it's not a big deal now, to be honest with you. It's really not. And we'll get to that more. James wore a blackface. Did you know that? I'm not surprised by James, though. Yes, sir. The last one on this, and then I'll move on to the other thing.
I want to make a comment about that Jussie Smollett case.
Yes.
I've been a victim of crime, so I did have the benefit of doubt on his side. But the problem is that I didn't go on Instagram and say, "Oh, I was a victim of crime." I didn't go out to the world and try to incite hatred. And if he was really beaten and loving and knew a part of God, he wouldn't have gone and done that. He wouldn't want to create the strife.
Yeah.
He just wanted to seek the truth and do the right thing, but not this
Absolutely.
whole, because Hollywood and the media that's what it is. They're so intertwined that the media is now Hollywood. So how are we supposed to know what's real or not anymore?
And these people hate the president so much, they'll grab hold of anything that sounds like it's negative and blame him for it as well. It's all about that too. And I want to end this subject because I want to move on now. But when I first heard this story, you're going to listen, I can play it on the radio. I said he was lying. This boy is lying. I've been saying for the last 29 years, and we're 29 years now, the organization is, that if white people don't start speaking up, that things will get worse and worse and worse. Because if you don't speak up, evil will end up destroying you. You're giving the power to evil by not speaking up for yourself. Even if you're in a relationship and someone is doing you wrong, men or women, or man or woman, if you don't speak up about it, they'll destroy you. Because you're giving them the power over you. And for the last 29 years, I've been writing and telling white people, you better speak up. It's going to only get worse. And then at the time, I was wondering, why don't the white men speak up? Why are you sacrificing your children to this kind of stuff? And what the blacks were complaining about were all lies anyway. These folks know nothing about slavery. They know nothing about so-called racism, which doesn't exist anyway. But the whites wouldn't speak up. They're afraid of being called racist. And then it just got to the point where they can accuse white people, and then you find out that they lied, everybody just go back to the corner. Because white people are not going to protest. They're not going to do anything about it. We had the Tawana Brawley situation where this black girl years ago accused white officers and other white people, found out that she lied. She said they had raped her and beat her up, and find out she lied about that whole story. But those white people's lives were destroyed. No big deal. Okay, we'll just wait for the next situation. And then one thing after another one started happening. Recently there was a a killing in Houston where I guess a girl was in a car with her family, and so some guy shot in there and killed her accidentally, whatever, and they blame a white man. And then these people come out the woodworks. These blacks came out, oh, I'm so scared for my life. This is slavery all over. And then you find out that a black guy did it. They arrested a black guy. No apology. They just dropped it and went all about their business. But what's so weird about it, white people didn't say anything about it. Like, hey, you owe me an apology. Sheila Jackson Lee is a representative, and they should at least make that woman apologize, but nothing. And so it's like that in your own personal life. If you don't face the fact that you're being controlled by evil, it will destroy you. It makes you do things you wish you would not do, and then it'll destroy your relationships, your own children. It will destroy. It's a life. And if white people don't start speaking up now, I don't know what's going to happen. A race war is on the way because this boy lied. And he made up the lie, they say, because he wanted a raise on his job or something. And so he made up a lie that some white people put a noose around my neck, yelled out mega hat, whatever they did, Trump or whatever. All lies, and the white people are just silent about it. And this boy will get away with it. He may go to jail for a day or two, but you're still going to have the children of the lie defending him. And then some of you are going to be afraid to speak up and say, no, he lied. He hired him. So what?
NBC hired him.
They hired him to play on the movie?
Maybe a newscaster.
NBC hired him?
I believe so.
When did this happen?
I saw a headline. I don't know anything other than that, but
I doubt if they hire him right now because he got to go to court and everything. Because of the police, even when the black police admitted this guy was wrong, I felt nice about that. Because it's nice to see black people stand up for something good. All people really, but especially black people. But I want you all to know they tried to handicap all of us, really, and especially men. Every man in the eyes of beta males and beta women are rapists, molesters, abusive, it don't matter how innocent you are. They see you that way. And when you believe into something, that's how you see it. You can't see any clearer. So I'm glad you all are here, and I hope you're waking up, and I know a lot of you are, because if we can stand up against this, which is with the truth, it'll change. Because the lie really don't have power. It doesn't have power at all. No power at all, except that you give it to it. If you give into it with fear, you're giving it power. But it's all an illusion. It doesn't have any power at all. That's why they go violent. You know how they want to fight you nowadays. If you wear a hat, they want to take it off. Because they're violent. They don't have power with their words or anything unless you give into it. That's why you got to overcome evil so you can fight it with good. Yes, sir. Come with the mic. You had your hand, right? Yes. Okay. Then I got to get to the sex thing. I had no idea y'all thought God made sex.
All right, the Jussie Smollett thing, I think, is more than just about anti-white, but it's more about division. Like you saw with the guy who was, he already started getting into the mentality that it's Jewish people, that it's different kinds of people. He's thinking there's some divide.
That's right.
But in all honesty, it's just good and evil.
That's
It's either there's also good. I'm pretty sure there's poor Jewish people, and there's not like every single Jewish person out in the world is rich.
Right.
I doubt it. You know, unless
I even saw, I saw a homeless Jew person. I'm like, what are you doing out here? I thought y'all had all the.
You see what I'm saying?
Y'all supposed to have all the money. Why are you here? He was all homeless.
And not only that, it's like every once in a while they come up with something with like, Me Too, men are this. Or it's like they always target a certain, like they don't have to be white, they don't have to be a certain color, but they target a certain ideology.
Yes.
You know, no matter what the movement is, or no matter what the case is, it's always about the ideology, not really about the race.
That's right.
If you really see it.
I try to say I know some white males who hate the Jews, and I'm trying to tell them in all cultures there are good and evil. You have the liberal Jews, you have the conservative ones. In the black community, you have the conservative blacks, you have the liberal ones, the evil ones. in the white community. It doesn't matter who you are, what race. It has nothing to do with your race. It's a spirit that is in there. And it happened to all races. Satan doesn't care where you're coming from or how much money you have or don't have. He'll get you. So you're absolutely right, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Well, I watch you every day
Oh,
in
thank you.
YouTube. So
This is your first
I
time here?
just, yeah, my first time. I come from Orange County, so I just wanted to check you out. So
Right on. Thank you for coming and thanks for watching.
Oh, you're welcome. I just have a question. Everything that's being discussed is, and I see you have the Bible open. What verses can you give related to what's going on in the world and all this hate and evil that's going on?
What verse can I give?
Yeah, from the Bible.
We wrestle not against flesh and blood,
Okay.
but against spirits and principalities and wickedness in high places. Our battle is a spiritual battle. The world is telling us that it's physical, but it's not. It's all spiritual all the time.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions for me?
No, that's it.
Okay, that's a good one. Do y'all know Daniel? Daniel is the new radio producer. Daniel is mean. Daniel be yelling at Joel. I told you to do it. Why didn't you do it? Joel's like, well, I did it because, no, I told you to do it. A good, smart guy, though. He's not mean. Just controlling. Are you controlling, Daniel?
No, I'm not controlling.
Are you mean?
I'm not mean.
What do you do?
I try to be nice, but yeah.
I have a lot of respect for Daniel because he jumped in his car one day. He lived in Florida. He decided, I'm going down to California and get a job for Bond. He jumped in his car. We didn't know he was coming. Never heard of him. No application, no nothing. He walked in and took a job. I'm like, who are you? I'm Daniel, I want a job. I'm like, what do you want? Which one? I'll take the PR, I'll take janitor, I'll take whatever you have. And it was a lucky, fortunate time for him because we had to open it for the PR, the producer. And so we taught him how to be the producer, and he's excellent at what he's doing. Very serious about it too, so really nice. It's amazing. So let me see the hands of the people who believe sex is God, that God created sex. Wow. Frankie, you had your hand? Wow. And he's old. You believe that too?
Not that God is sex, but God created sex.
You believe God created sex. Let's do 5 minutes of this. Because I want to get to something very important. Why do you believe God created sex?
Well, I look at it from like a scientific viewpoint. Like, so it, like man and woman were intellectually designed to fit one another. So I view sex more as a mechanism that God created for babies to be produced.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Amazing. So she's like, come on, honey. God made this sex. Come on. That's amazing. Anybody else along here? Oh, right. You do too, sir?
I agree with what she said.
Oh, take the mic. Why do you believe God created sex? We're going to do 5 minutes only. I got something else to get to.
Well, I think our bodies are created in a way that mesh together to,
mesh
that
together.
We're designed that way to have sex so we could produce.
Your mother would enjoy this conversation. Okay.
That's how we have children.
Well, I do want to add this one caveat. It's more of he designed sex for marriage. So I'm not saying, oh, just go out and,
I realize that. Yeah. You believe God created sex? Yeah.
I believe he created it to reproduce, so we can reproduce.
Amazing.
Not something to do for fun.
So interesting. I thought I had to apologize to my friend now. He's not the only one that think this.
Wait, so
I couldn't believe he was thinking that.
How should we reproduce then?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
Right here, right? Okay. You believe God created sex?
Well, what they said, he created Adam and Eve so that they could come together. By having sex, they reproduced and had children.
So you believe God created sex?
Yes.
Okay, I got to have you on record. And right next to you, you believe?
Well, he said, "Be fruitful and multiply." Right, and when and when he was making, the animals and everything, it says that, and they would reproduce after their kind. Same thing with plants and everything. So that's just, he created everything. So obviously, I mean, I believe there's he designed it for purpose. Like there's a right and wrong way to do it, just like anything else.
No wonder y'all so into sex.
No
problem.
why would he make
God
the
made
thing?
this. Same way with the marijuana too. There are people who think God made the marijuana, right? Yeah. You believe God made sex?
Yeah, well, until now.
But I haven't given my answer yet, so I may be agreeing with you guys.
Yeah.
I just never
Yes.
heard it said before.
Right. Yeah. So the same reason. That's why I believe it. All what they said.
Oh, okay.
That's why. But I realized this. Like I was talking with my brother not too long ago,
Yeah.
and we realized that the emotions are related to the instincts. So I feel like if he didn't create sex or the instinct, he didn't create emotions neither. And so if you think he didn't create emotions, well, I might agree that he didn't create the instinct.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Is this your first time here?
Oh, yeah, it's my first
What's
time
your
here.
first name?
Kevin.
Kevin, you believe God created sex?
Not necessarily. I think God
Who-
created love. I think sex is the absence of love.
Oh, okay. So you don't think God
No,
created sex?
I do
All
not.
right.
I do not.
Amazing. You have any questions for me? This your first time?
Yeah, it's my first time here.
Yes. Any questions?
Probably more about forgiving, your mother and father, which I'm still
okay.
going through.
All right, I'll come right back
Okay.
to it. Let me do this sex thing. I'm about to run out of time. How about over this, in the red shirt and then Mark? Way in the back. You believe God created sex?
I'm open to the possibility that he did. Yeah.
Do you believe God created sex?
Yeah, if we're gonna talk biblically, yeah. But if
In the
we're gonna
Bible
talk,
said God created sex? Where
I
is
don't
that
think, no,
scripture?
it didn't. It didn't. No.
Huh?
Not in the Bible, but I think it follows logically that if there's Adam and Eve, there was a way to repopulate, and it had to be sex.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if we talk about like secularly,
Right.
biologically, I think it just evolved. That's the way.
Okay.
It would be reproduced.
Interesting. Mark, you say you believe God created sex?
No, I have a question.
Oh, no. Well, I'll come back to you then.
It's about this.
No, I only want the people right
Okay.
now who said they believe God created sex, because I got to get to something very important. Then I'll let you
Okay,
ask
I
a
do.
question. I knew you looked like you believed it.
Yeah.
You believe God created sex?
Yeah, in Genesis 3:16, he says to the woman, he said, I will increase your pain in childbearing, and the man will be your master. And I've heard you say he created that as a punishment.
Okay.
So he did create it.
All right. Amazing.
But does that mean that there was a way to procreate other than that before?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
Let me get everybody on all these sex addicts on there. No, I'm kidding. Let me see the hands over here again. The young lady in the blue blouse, do you believe God created sex?
Yes, I do believe God created sex.
Is this your first time here?
Yes.
What's your first name?
My name is Darlene.
I'm sorry?
Darlene.
Darlene, okay. Why do you believe, I have a cousin named Darlene. Why do you believe God created sex?
For the purpose of reproduction.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right behind you, the black guy. We know the black men believe it. They love sex.
Well, yeah, it's the same. Yeah, I love it. The same reason. The same
I'm glad
reason.
to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
How your kids?
They're good.
Oh, good, man.
Yeah, really good. Well,
Okay.
my daughter's she's 13, so however you want to see that, as
Right.
being good or bad, but
Why do you believe God created sex?
I think it was that to reproduce, you have to have sex. So in my mind, I'm thinking he created sex so we could reproduce. Other than that, we wouldn't reproduce unless
okay.
unless you want to call it a different name, hanging and banging or whatever.
All right. Anybody on this side? Don't be afraid. It's the white blouse in the back. We're in the back, and then the guy in the white shirts. Can we open up those curtains back there so that people can sit on the couch if they come in? Okay. Make sure there's nothing on the couch. Go ahead. You believe God created sex?
I do.
And why?
Because we were anatomically built for that process to have to take place, for the conception to happen.
Yeah.
Without it, it would be immaculate conception. That's the only thing I think could happen. But where is the father in that? Like in the rearing of that child if God gives you the baby? But also, with the sex thing, I think that the pleasure aspect comes from somewhere else. I don't think that comes from God.
Okay.
Because that's what a lot of people are driven by, the
All
pleasure
right.
aspect. It's not, they don't use sex for what it was created for.
All right.
So that's why it's corrupt right now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The guy in the white T-shirt right here. Anybody else on this side believe that? Oh, nobody doesn't believe that. Oh, you do. All right. You believe God created sex?
I would say I agree with all the above that pretty much everyone was saying.
Right.
I guess it's called copulation, and how would the seed reach the female without, intercourse? So
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Interesting. The guy in the red hat. You believe, is this your first time here?
No, I came last week.
Okay. Is this your first time in the white shirt, right? Okay, I'll come back to you for your question. You believe God created sex?
I think God allowed it to happen. I think that originally it wasn't supposed to be, but due to Adam and Eve, it's part of the fallen state. I don't think he intended it, but he allowed it to happen after Adam and Eve.
Very interesting.
Because, sex can lead to addiction, porn addiction, and I don't think that's obviously God created. So I think it was a byproduct,
Amazing
and he
answer.
allowed it to happen.
Okay. The guy in the hat. Do you believe God created sex?
You said, do I believe God created sex?
No, do you believe God created sex?
Yes.
And why do you believe, take the mic for me.
Reproduction.
He created sex for reproduction? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. And the last one here. You said you believe that, right?
Like I was gonna say, as God created it as a punishment, because before we were perfect, we didn't have pain or nothing, so it was a punishment from God.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So the rest of you don't believe God created sex. Am I right? Y'all won't say nothing? Let me ask the young lady in the glass. You don't believe God created sex?
Never thought of it that way, so I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. It's an interesting thought, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was shocked when I heard it yesterday, but now I'm even shocker right now. And so, do you believe it, sir?
I think it has to do with the fall, just like death and other things.
All right. So we'll get to it next Sunday. Smoke on it. Because if I tell you, Francisco, you had your hand right. Frank is an old timer. You believe God created sex?
No, I was just joking.
Oh, you're just joking? I'm about to let you have it. Some people like too old to believe that, right? Okay. So, any questions for me before I have something I really want to share with you guys? But I want to make sure I answer your question. Yes, sir.
Do you remember Phil Advice? Phil Advice show? You've had him on your show a couple times.
The fat black guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's his deal with, because you ask him, is he the head of his wife? And he can never, you've interviewed him, I think, 4 or 5 times?
Yeah.
He can never answer it. And then he even calls you a fool because you keep repeating the same question.
Yes.
But he's the fool because he's not
Right.
answering it.
He hates
What do you think
mother.
his problem is?
He hates his mother. He's married to his mother. But when you hate your mother, you can't stand up to your woman. Whether it's your girlfriend, your fiance, or your wife. And so that's why he's doing it. Remember when you were in the father state, you were afraid of women? You remember that?
Yep.
Are you still afraid of women?
No.
You're not?
No.
Are you married?
No.
Are you dating?
Not right now.
Oh. And you're not living with a woman?
No.
So at one time you were afraid to speak up to women and disagree and all that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and that would be because you hate your mother, and you end up married to your mother or living with her or whatever. Good, man. But that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And
Because
the
he can
beauty-
never answer that. He's just like,
Yeah, the beauty about waking up, God allow you to see what's going on, and seeing it protects you from it. He loved you enough to protect you by allowing you to see.
And then he goes on his channel thinking that he owned you, and I'm just like, dude,
Yeah.
you look like a fool, and
Yeah.
then you want to say that you owned him?
Yeah, they can't see, so you just wish them well. That's why I do, when they ask me to do interviews, I do them because I want to get the truth out there. Whether to the people who hate the Jews, or people who hate the blacks, or the blacks who hate the whites, and so on and so on. We got to put the truth out there. Did you have your hand? Yeah. Okay, right here.
I was just wondering if there's any advice you can give me to help me with like the silent prayer, because it seems like I want to do it, but I just end up filling my time with other things, like, and then I just kind of forget about it. I say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it the next day. And
So you want to know how to not put it off?
yeah,
You just have to suffer some more. Suffer and die. And eventually you'll cry out to God. There's nothing a human being can do about that. You just haven't suffered enough. Because one thing, the silent prayer will work. When you're ready to overcome and you just be still and know the Father, He will start revealing Himself to you, and you will see what's going on, and it'll all start to disappear. Have you forgiven your mother?
yeah,
You went to her?
yeah.
And what happened?
She started crying, and but she understood where I was coming from.
So she was like crying, I understand though.
Yeah,
Know what
pretty
she
much,
said?
yeah.
What'd you say to her?
What did I say to her? I just said that I just told her that I wanted to apologize to you because I've been angry at you, and it's just because you kind of like you babied me and you spoiled me, and you
That's so unfortunate.
yeah, and I wasn't able to really function and deal with women and really deal with my own troubles. She's always bailing me out and giving me money when I needed it. So
Yeah, amazing. How old are you?
30.
You 30?
Yeah.
Oh, you look younger. Are you living at home now?
No.
You're not living with your mother? No. You have your own place?
Yeah.
Oh, good, man.
This is my new mom, though.
This is what?
My new mother.
This your new mother? You guys are dating?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Did you know you were his mother?
Yeah.
You knew it? How did you know? Let her have the mic. How did you know you were his mother?
I mean, we watched the show.
Oh, you
Kind of.
wa-
I mean, not all the time.
Yeah.
So I already kind of know, and then sometimes like it would be like, don't like you're acting like my mom, or so I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
You guys live together?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You living with mama. You're never going to get better.
I know.
He said, I know. What is it like being married to, living with a beta male? Before you found out from me that it's beta, what was it like for you knowing you had a weak male?
I don't know.
Whose phone that? Can you cut it off for me, Rick? Okay. What was it like? What's it like knowing that you had a weak male?
I don't know. Didn't really think of it at first till
He black. Okay, go ahead.
I didn't really know he was one. I thought he was more I thought he was a man.
Oh, you thought he was a
Yeah,
man?
I thought he was
Did
a
you
man.
think that a real man would have sex with you before marriage and live with you before marriage? You thought that was manly?
Yeah.
Why do you think that was manly? It showed no respect for the woman.
I don't know. I didn't grow up really. I don't know. Maybe the way I grew up. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, okay. So
It
you
wasn't
didn't-
like you need to wait before marriage, or it wasn't like that.
Your parents
Yeah.
didn't teach you that?
No.
Were they married?
Yeah.
So you were born into a marriage, a father and mother who were already married, right?
Yes.
Why that didn't rub off? If they did it the right way, why, even if they didn't tell you to do it the right way, why did you recognize when my parents are married, why would I want to live with a guy? Why didn't that rub off on you?
I don't know. Society kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Like you would say, it's okay to live with get to know them before you marry them. So I guess
Yeah.
that played a role.
How do you feel about that now that you're waking up and seeing that that's wrong?
I don't know if I see it as
Oh, you still don't see it as being wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how to put it.
No, I understand that.
Like we lived together, and then we started knowing all of this stuff. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to go backwards. And we already tried. We talked about it, like how to go backwards and
Right.
like fix it. But
Right.
I'm
And
in
how-
school, and it's kind of hard. So
It's-
I don't have much money. We live together.
Are you in college right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so it's hard to stop doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it hard for you too to stop?
I don't know if it's hard. I would say yeah, it's kind of hard, but like some of the stuff is falling away, like the sex, and we have talked about how I can move out, even though it's my house. Like I'll let her live there, and I'll move out somewhere, and but we're trying to figure out how it's gonna work.
Oh, okay.
So we want to do the right thing though.
Yeah, you gotta, now that you're waking up to it, you gotta do the right thing. Otherwise, your life's gonna be hell. That's why God is trying to draw you back so your life can be perfect. But if you keep doing what you're doing, I know that it's hard to, you like emotionally you are tied to one another, and that is hard. But once you see that you got to do the right thing, it's best to do it, and then everything else will start to work out too. It really will. So at least you're not having the sex thing anymore, right? Is that right? I can't hear you. All of a sudden,
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while, like a day or two.
Like
Okay,
yeah.
here's what I recommend, that both of you do the silent prayer. Just start doing it, man. Satan doesn't want you to do it. The last thing he wants you to do is to be still and allow the Holy Spirit to pray for you, because it's going to pray perfectly for you, and you'll start waking up and he will lose you. Satan will lose you, and he doesn't want that. And so that's why he's telling you, oh, you're busy, you got to do this, you got to do that. You got to stop listening to the thoughts. And I recommend you, both of you, start the prayer right away. And you'll see how to work this out. It'll work out. 'Cause I understand, you have your house, you're living there, finances bad. It'll work out. When you want to do the right thing and you start doing it, everything come together for you. That make sense? So I would recommend sleeping in separate bedrooms. Is that possible? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. At least do that for now, and then do the silent prayer, and it'll work out. Yes.
It's just, I mean, I listen, but I haven't like dedicated myself to do this, I guess.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
really. So when you say do the silent prayer, I know I'm not going to do it. I mean,
I'm
because
sorry?
I know I'm not going to do it
Right.
because I
Well,
haven't
then just
dedicated.
suffer.
Okay.
Suffer and die.
Well, yeah, I don't know. So we talked about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not dedicated to this right now. I mean,
Right.
we listen to you. I mean, I sit there
I
with him
understand.
just because I support him. And I was like, well, if you go this way, well, then how are you going to feel about me? And then so he was like, well, once I become a man, then you can follow me, or
Right.
and then you will see it, and then you will open up.
Yes.
So do I just
So
kinda
you're
wait for
concerned
that?
about once he wake up, become a man, how is he going to feel about you?
Yeah.
Oh, you worried about that?
No, not worried about
But
it.
concerned about it.
Concerned, but not too much. I mean,
Right.
not really focusing on it.
But once he wake up, if you guys do it the right way, he may end up becoming the perfect husband for you.
Okay.
Until death do you part. But if she's not ready to wake up, you're going to have hell on your hand. You understand that? So you got to be serious about it and don't let her seduce you. You know what I mean? Make sure you sleep in a separate room and don't let her come in and try to tempt you. Oh, come on, baby. I love you, baby. You got to, if you can't handle it, one of you going to have to go. Because once you wake up, it works when you go back to sleep, if you should go back. It's best not to know the truth and stay in your hellhole than to know the truth and fall back into it. It's double trouble. It really is. I don't mean to scare you. Are you scared now?
No.
No, right. Because you haven't accepted it anyway. Right? You're not ready for that. And when I say suffer and die, all people who have anger are dying. They are not living. Your soul is separated from God, so you're really dying. You're in the darkness and don't know it, but you're dying. So what are you going to do, man?
Going to do the silent prayer.
Yeah.
And sleep in another room.
Right.
And
lock your door.
Lock the door.
Lock your door! Because she go bang at 12 o'clock at night. Hey, honey, you awake? You asleep? You gonna be like, yeah, I'm asleep. But yeah, make sure you do it. But don't worry about it. Don't freak out. It's enough to see that you're wrong. Start the prayer, and God will work it out. All right? Because I know it's hard once you've been together like that, especially with emotions and stuff. And so many people have been told it's okay to have sex before marriage, to live together, and they try to control you. Once they demoralize you, they got you. In so many ways, too. And I have another way coming up in a minute. Any other questions? Be sure to ask me what you need to know.
Not right now.
Okay. All right, I saw this young lady right here had a question.
Jesse, I have a beta at home. He's a 6-year-old.
A beta.
He's a 6-year-old, and I'm so scared for him. He has 3 older sisters.
Yeah.
And he gets beat down for being, I guess, a little weenie. And I want to help him because I've been doing so many things wrong with him.
Yeah.
I guess I'm like another one of his sisters.
So your
beat him down
son
too.
is a little beta male right now?
Yes.
Where's the father?
He got deported. He's in the picture, but like I said, he's in another country.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't get to see him that often. And my son yearns for his father.
Yeah, I know it.
I take him out once in a while by himself, and he asks me so many questions. Sometimes, I sit and give him very short answers because I don't want to mess up. So my question is, how can I uplift him to be a man? Because I don't want him to be a man and be confused.
Perfect question. You got to let all your anger go. You got to forgive your father and your mother and love your father. That means don't hate him. Don't be angry at him.
I've done
and
that.
once you love him, then the love of God will operate through you.
I've done that.
And your son will see it, he'll pick it up, and he'll be fine.
Yeah. I
Because he will see that not only do you love your father, you love his father too. Because if you could say one thing, but he could reach a spirit. We are spiritual spirit, but if you secretly hate his father, then he doesn't have a chance. But if you don't hate his father, he'll be fine. Because God will operate through you too.
I just have to forgive my mom. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think I've been like my mom for a very long time. I used to hate my dad.
Yeah.
But until last year, I forgave my father, and that was like, it was
Yeah.
so refreshing. So I think I have to forgive my mother.
Well, yeah, once you forgive your mother, you're going to fly like a bird. So be sure to forgive your mother. Is your mother is she in this country?
No.
Oh, okay. Make sure you call her up or do something and forgive her. And don't say, Mommy, I love you. You don't love her.
She's just very scary. She's like a man.
Yeah. An
Very
angry man.
Well, not like a man, but
Yeah.
she has a lot of anger.
Yeah. Well, let her yell and scream and whatever. It's on her, not you. You say, look, you could be crazy as you want. I just want to say I'm sorry for hating your craziness. You can't help yourself. I'm wrong. Because the problem is, it's not what happened to you. The problem is the anger. You're upset about what happened. If someone beat you up and you never got mad about it, you'll be fine.
So it's okay for him to be like a little weak right now?
He'll overcome it as soon as you overcome the anger.
Yeah.
Because he'll see the real love in you. He's not able to live with his father or visit his father, right?
Yes.
He is?
Yes.
Let him go visit father. Are you afraid to let him visit the father?
No.
Oh,
I love
let
it.
him visit.
I love it when they're
But I
around.
still want you to overcome the anger and encourage your son to visit the father and the father to be with the son.
So no more outbursts, no
more
more
outbursts at all.
no more
because
getting
that's
angry at
killing
him or telling him what to do, when to do it.
No. Let's say that you need him to take the trash out. Take the trash out, Johnny, and then leave him alone. He'll take it out. But if you yell at him, he become angry, he won't. He'll take his time, and then you'll yell some more, and then you'll yell some more.
How about when his sisters bash on him?
I'm going to tell you, you got to keep the sisters off him. Because a little boy cannot have that many females around him. It's all, they'll drive him insane.
Yeah, he has like no adult male figure at all.
Yeah. Well, make sure you tell your daughters to stay off him. Stop pushing him around. Stop telling him what to do. Stop yelling at him. And then let your son know whenever they do it to let you know so you can correct it. All right? But once he sees the love in you, he'll start to change. He really will. Because it's your action, not what you say, but the way you live.
Yeah, I I've heard that you shouldn't trust what a woman says,
What a woman said?
but what a woman does.
Yes. Never, ever, 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 never, 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 ever trust a woman.
And that's true. That's true because I can
The Bible
manipulate
says
you through
suffer
words.
because you
but it's-
listen to the woman.
Yeah, it's very different what I do.
Yes. That's why I want you to let the anger go, and God will operate through you, and you will do the right thing.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
But
I've been
really,
doing that.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Not consistently, but when I've done it, my eyes have opened.
Yes.
I feel like I am open to the truth. I like the truth.
It's amazing how y'all don't stay with the prayer. Who's not doing the prayer every day and every night at least? Who's not doing it? That's amazing. I'm surprised you're not doing it. Right here. You're waking up. Why are you not doing it?
Because Friday nights, sometimes I stay up late watching TV or anything like that. I just want to go to sleep.
Oh, you're like, forget about God. I'm going to sleep. You guys are going to suffer if you don't do the prayer, because you're not going to be able to see, because you have the Holy Spirit inside of you, and the Holy Spirit is interceding on your behalf. So it's best to do it even for a minute. Let's say you're tired and you want to go to bed. A minute or two is better than nothing.
That's what I wanted to ask too.
Yeah.
Okay.
A minute or two is better than nothing, because when you go to sleep, you're going to fall back into darkness.
Okay, so yeah, because I always say, oh, maybe I can do like 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
A minute is better than nothing, folks. I'm telling you. And then after a while, it'll become natural. And during the day, you'll find yourself. Because God said He's in the present, and we should pray without ceasing. That means that we should be aware. Being aware is prayer. He is He who allows us to see. All right? So, yeah, make sure. Don't be getting that drunk. Wasn't it a good meeting on Thursday night?
What?
It was a good meeting Thursday night.
I loved it.
It was amazing.
It was amazing, yeah.
And I was so sleepy and tired.
We saw it. We saw it.
I had done 3 hours of radio, 3 hours on the Fallen State, and then council, I think, and I was out of it. And the last thing I felt like doing was a women's forum. But I love the ladies enough to be here, because if they want to come and work on this, who am I? You know, so it turned out very well.
Yeah, we appreciate it because we saw
Yeah.
that you were really, really tired.
I was out of it.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
had to be up by 4, I think.
Yeah, but it was fun though. I'm glad I
Yeah,
came.
we all enjoyed it, I think.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yes, sir.
Yeah. How did you come to the realization that you have to forgive your parents? Like, what was that thought process?
Because I had, long story short, I had been going to church and going to church and going to church, and I would read the Bible, quote the scriptures. I couldn't remember the scriptures, but I would have to look at the Bible and get them. I would pay my tithes and offerings. I would go to church on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and sometime on Saturday for men's conference or whatever they had. And Sunday morning, nothing was working. You know, it just wasn't working. And I would tell myself at church, you know, like, service would be really good, right? And I would say, oh, I'm not going to have sex today. This church is too good. The preacher said you're not supposed to sin. I am not sinning today. And as soon as the preacher said amen, and I get in my car driving home, what do? I drive right to my girlfriend's house. I'm like, where am I going? All right, I'm going to do it this last time. And so finally I just asked God, you know, let me see myself. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm doing all the things they say do. I used to pray in other tongues and all that. You know, that was a waste of time. But God allowed me to see that I needed to forgive. I mean, really, he showed me that the thing that was holding me back, I had anger toward my parents. And prior to that, I did not know I had anger toward my parents. I had no clue. Because I felt what felt like love toward my parents. But that come from anger. That love that I felt came from anger. And when I realized that, man, I was like, wow. So I went and forgave. And it was the hardest thing in the world for me to do, to face my mother. It was easier with the father than it was with the mother. But I did it. I was out of breath. I was scared. I could barely breathe. But once I did it, everything changed. And I've not looked back since. That's how I knew. He allowed me to see that the one thing that was holding me back was unforgiveness. I needed to forgive. And that's why he's saying, if you have any problem with anyone, go to them and forgive them. Don't ask for forgiveness, but forgive. And he will forgive you. Because most people won't forgive you. They try to control you when you ask for forgiveness. No, you hurt my feeling. I ain't never gonna forgive you. And so that's how I knew. No person told me that. It was so weird. He allowed me to see that.
How did they receive your forgiveness?
My mother, I was stunned. She started crying, and she apologized. And she said that she had not realized that she had done that to me. And for the first time in my life, she told me about her life, and exactly what she had done to me, her mother did it to her. And I didn't know it. I thought my grandmother was an angel sent by God. But she was hell sent by Satan. She had done the same thing to my mother, and it was passed down. And that's the first time I ever heard of that. But I have not looked back. He took it away from me, and I felt free. I felt peaceful. No anger at all. And that was 30 years ago. And I've been through hell with folks, man, and I don't feel anything about it. And I was a beta male. Beta male. I was pure beta. I was beta all the way. I was beta. One time a woman made me cry. You know I was beta. I'm serious. One time a woman made me cry. That's how much beta I was. And if I could change by forgiving, he would change you too. And it just happened by itself. You can't change yourself. You just need to see that you're wrong for being angry. But he allowed me to see that. That's what happened. Good question, man. Right here in the back. And then I'm coming to you, Michael. Yes, sir.
Thanks.
This your first time here?
Yeah, it's my first time.
What's your first name?
Esteban.
Esteban?
Yes.
You another Esteban?
Yes, I heard there's
Have you
another.
met the other one? Where's the other one? Where's Esteban? Huh? He would be in the bathroom. He a Mexican. In the bathroom. Go ahead. I'm glad you're here. We have another Esteban. I want to introduce you when you come out of the bathroom.
Thank you. I heard it on YouTube, so
yeah.
I look forward to meeting.
Yeah. But I want you to see what it looked like.
Okay. I come from Tijuana, and basically because I have a lot of hate. I hate my mother. I hate my father.
Yeah.
I hate God. I cannot bring myself around to pray, and I'm single, and that makes me feel even more hatred.
Yes. Amazing. Every human being who hate their fathers hate God. Every human being, man or woman, because you cannot love even the Bible says, how can you say you love there go Esteban. That's Esteban, his name is Esteban. Every human being who hate their earthly father hate God, because how can you say you love your earthly father who you see and God who you've never seen? So that's why you got to forgive your earthly father, because he represents God on earth. And the way to do it, do you want to overcome this? Do you know that it's wrong to be hating?
Yes, and I want to overcome it, and I feel it's a paradox because I'm single, and that makes me more hateful because I resent them for it.
Yes.
But the same way, I feel that the more I hate them, the less God is going to give me my woman because
That's right.
I'm not ready.
You're going to pick the wrong woman.
Yes.
And you'll suffer. It's enough to know that you hate. And then it's enough to know that it's wrong to hate. All right? And so you got to go and forgive. Do you realize your parents couldn't help themselves?
Yes.
So go and forgive them. Just like you can't help yourself, they could not help themselves. And so go and forgive them. It'll change just like that. Are you able to face your mother?
Yeah.
Can you go and forgive her?
Yes.
Well, go and forgive her.
Yes.
And forgive your father. Everything will fall away and you'll be free. That's all it takes.
I'll try that and come back.
Yeah. Do they live in Tijuana too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go and forgive them. And God understands. And just realize your father couldn't help himself. Why do you hate your father?
Well, for once he was like very macho. He used to bully me a lot when I was like 4 or 5, calling me a nasty word for homosexual and stuff like that in front of anybody.
Right.
And then when I was 7, he left us for his lover. So like that makes me very angry because I'm like, wow, you messed me up and then you go, so I don't even get to have you close to me to feel a little bit stronger.
That's right.
And I feel very insecure about my manhood because of that.
Yes. So listen, tell him what you just told me, and I want you to realize he couldn't help it. He hated his mother. He's married to his mother. So he could not help you. He really couldn't help. It was wrong, but he couldn't help you. And tell him and then say, look, I'm sorry for hating you for that. I realize now you couldn't help it. And then you'll be free. Are you doing the silent prayer?
No, I cannot bring myself around to prayer.
Satan doesn't want you to. He wants you to kill yourself. That's why he's making you hate yourself and everybody, because eventually you'll feel like life is not worth it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Life is worth it. Believe me, life is amazing once you overcome that anger. But you got to go and forgive your father. He could not help himself. If he could have done better, he would have. Likewise with your mother too. They can't help themselves.
Yeah, that's exactly
All right. Will you try that and let me know what happens?
Yeah, I'll do it and I'll come back.
Yeah, okay. Make sure you come back. The beauty is you know that you have this hatred and you know that it's wrong. That's all God needs from you. He needs for you to see that you're wrong, to hate your fellow man. All right?
All right.
So do that and come back and let me know what happened. And then start doing the silent prayer. I highly recommend it.
Thanks.
All right?
I'm going to try it again.
I'm glad to see you, man.
Same here.
All right. Anybody else over here? Oh, okay. Right here and then right here. And then here and then Michael. And I got to deal with something. We got to end on time because he's going to yell at me. Go ahead.
Can you talk about, do you think it's important to wake up at 4 or 5 or 6 a.m. like really early in the morning to like start your day? Because you've mentioned that you wake up at 5 or something, because your radio
4.
show is at 6, right?
Right.
And I mean, there's lots of articles and stuff talking about waking up super early. I even think it's in the Bible to wake up early, but
yeah, God says seek him early in the morning.
Yeah.
And so no later than 6 a.m.
Yeah, so you think we should all be waking up?
You should be done with it by 6
a.m.
Yeah, no later than 6.
Done with it, yeah.
Well, even start at 6, no later than that.
Yeah, start your silent prayer or whatever at 6 a.m.
Yeah, no later than that. That's why he says seek me early. Yeah, early, because after that, Satan started getting busy. You can think of all these things you have to do, and he makes you think you don't have time for it. It's best to do it first so God can guide you through your day. Mm-hmm. Things are simpler.
Okay.
That's a good question. Yeah. Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yeah.
Every day?
Yeah.
Every night?
Not every. I mean, it's 1 minute, 2 minutes.
Every day?
1 minute or 2 minutes.
Every day?
I guess not every day then.
See, you lie. When they go, and they look up at the sky. I knew you were lying.
That's why I was asking about it.
Huh?
So I was asking about it.
Why don't you do it every day and every night, at least?
I was doing it for a few months, every day and every night.
No, why don't you do it every day and every night now?
Because this just being this just accepting thing, it's I don't know. I just didn't. Maybe because I don't quote unquote see results that I want to see, then it might not quote unquote be working.
Suffer then.
Yeah, right. So I mean,
I'm telling you, when people come whining to you, and, my back hurt. Let their back hurt. They are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm telling you, and they deserve to suffer. Don't mommy them, don't daddy them. Let them suffer, because they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And they got all these sad stories. He know to pray. Don't you know to pray, right?
I mean, I do pray, but I haven't been doing the silent prayer way.
So you're not praying then?
I mean, not
you do the hoop and holler one?
I wouldn't say hooping and hollering, but I talk to God, yeah.
You talking to God?
I mean, I speak words to who I believe I'm talking to God.
You talk to Satan, man.
So any words that you're speaking, if I go right now, if I go, God, please give me strength or whatever, right?
Right.
I'm talking to Satan right then. I'm not talking to God.
Yes.
What are you talking? What do you mean? How can I not be talking? I'm like praying to God, right? Like, Lord, you know, like, please give me some strength or something, right? Like,
He's
how am I
inside of
talking to
you.
Satan?
And does he give you strength when you go, Lord, please give me strength? Does he give it to you?
I mean, maybe sometimes, I don't know.
He doesn't.
Yeah. I really can't say yes or no to that. I mean, I don't know.
No, he doesn't give it to you. You're still weak right now. That's why you don't sit still and pray.
But
If I were you, I wouldn't ask God to give me strength.
that was an example.
No, do you ever ask for that?
I've asked for strength and wisdom and patience, all that stuff. And boy, he's given me opportunities
Don't
to
ask for
do
that,
all
right?
that stuff.
Because the moment you ask for strength, he gonna let all kind of hell come upon you.
Right, so you can become stronger.
So it's best to just live it.
So I haven't really been doing it. So
I never ask God to give me strength.
yeah, or like ask God for wisdom because he's
hell
going to
come
do
out,
something.
and then now you got to be strong with the hell.
Yeah,
Or give me money. I don't ask for money either.
yeah,
Because the moment you ask for money, now you got to work real hard.
yeah. So it's best to
He
just
go-
be and do the
just
silent
be.
prayer and don't
Yeah.
ask God for anything.
Let your will be done.
Don't ask God for anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh God, oh Father, you see my needs.
Yeah.
And you already know your needs.
Just if you're gonna ask anything, ask God to
Why you
let His
gotta
will
be-
be done.
Why you got to be begging?
I guess because it goes back to the thing, like, you know, like I've talked about before, this feeling of like potentially something's missing. But if you're saying that if you return to God, and then nothing's gonna feel like it's missing.
Right.
And it's gonna be
you
perfect,
have
and you're
perfect
just gonna
peace, so
be.
nothing is missing.
So yeah. So I don't know.
You're
Maybe.
such a hard-headed man.
I guess so.
You remind me of my mama.
I mean, I suppose I'm just really stubborn.
Yeah, just suffer
guess.
until you're ready. And die. Suffer and die. Let me tell you, right here, then Michael. And then I got to tell you something real quick now because we're running out of time. Right here. And go to this young lady, and then Michael.
Just two questions. One probably really quick. The other one, not so much. But I heard a couple times you talk about not letting colored people in the country because they're gonna sort of.
Yeah, we need to start all over.
Right, because they have a socialist mindset and they destroy and they don't build, that sort of thing. I've
Right.
heard that. But what's the difference? And I heard you on JF. You know JF, that French dude, your YouTube channel you're on.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm on people's shows. I don't know their name or anything. Just do it.
And you were saying he kind of asked you if you would want to live in a white ethno state, and you said yeah. That worst comes to worst, push comes to shove, that sort of thing. But so that made me think, what's the difference between not wanting colored people but then that other dude, that angry dude, not wanting Jews in his country?
I don't hate them.
Right.
You can speak the truth and not hate. It's so amazing. And the reason I'm sick of colored people, not sick of them, but they don't build. In the good old days when boys were boys and men were men, black Americans had a different personality.
Right.
They got married. Abortion was unheard of. They worked for themselves, and if someone didn't like them, we never even thought about that.
So until they sort their
We
issues
did
out.
our own thing. We built. We worked. We did our own thing. And now they are victims now because they've been so destroyed morally and no families, and they keep destroying stuff. I don't want people in my country that destroy, so I need Columbus to come back. Have you seen him lately?
I'll ring him. I'll
Tell
call
him I'm looking for him.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so that's why, look how they destroy. Look at this boy. He's not building, he's destroying. Smollett.
Smollett,
whatever his name. And then what's so bad about it, I would think that majority of black people say, no, this is wrong. We're not going to accept this. But they're not saying that.
Right.
And so they're going to only get worse. Why would I want them here? I would try to wait till they all die out, but they won't die.
Okay. Second question is a quick one. How long did you mourn after your father died? Was it
That's a good question.
a week or?
And this is the truth, but I thought that I would, but not at all.
Oh, okay.
Because my father and I had become one, and it's through him. Because when I went to forgive my father, it was no problem. I asked him what happened. He told me, and it was done. I had only gotten one side of the story prior to that. And so my father and I became one, my earthly father. Through him, I was able to go to God. And so once he died, because I had a lot of good times with him, my dad was liberal too. Beta! My father he remarried and he used to hate his wife. And every time I would go to visit, the first thing he would do is tell on his wife. His wife would say something to him, he'd be like, no, Punchy, she's mean. And he would just talk about his wife. I'm like, Dad, you need to stand up. You need to stop hating your mother. But we had a tight relationship, so when he died, I didn't mourn at all.
Okay.
And I was surprised by that. That's a good question. That's why you got to overcome this evil, Paul. No, I didn't have it. Everybody else did, but not me. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Does disliking someone equals hate?
Yes. You can disagree, but you can't have any feelings about it. I disagree with a lot of people. Honestly, I don't feel anything about it. I don't dislike them or anything. It's the same as hating. People can't help themselves. If they could do better, they would. Really. Is this your first time here? In the shirt, the young guy? Yes. Amazing. What's your first name?
Landon.
Landon.
Yeah.
How did you hear about us?
Well, he actually showed me, he had found a clip of you on Instagram, where you called Amber Rose a slut maker. Or no, you said men are slut makers.
Yeah. Are you a slut maker?
No.
Slut maker. You're not a slut maker? You used to be a slut maker?
I'd say, yeah.
I'm glad you're here, man. How old are you again?
I'm 20.
Oh, this is Z. Generation Z. You guys are waking up. You're going to save the world. You really are. Any questions for me?
I don't have any right now, no.
All right. And what's your name?
Leo.
And how old are you?
30.
You're 30?
Yes, I am.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. The one behind. Yeah. He's been here before. Yeah. What's your name?
Cameron.
Cameron. How old are you?
18.
18?
Yes, sir.
That's amazing. Any questions?
No questions.
What was it about the video that caught your attention?
I like a good troll. I thought you were a troll at first. And then I went and checked out your videos and I saw you had some depth. And
Yeah.
I really liked what you said. And I mean, I watched the rest of the interview. And that's the thing, too. I could have saw that, just the clip where the slut maker line. And
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was funny, but I could see how people would get a little bent out of shape about that. But I went and did some research on you, and I liked what I saw, yeah.
Right on.
I'm glad to be here, and all the guys were really welcoming when I got here.
Right on.
So I appreciate.
I'm glad of that. I don't understand why they got mad at me for saying sluts and being slut maker, because the whole purpose of the rally was to say they're proud of being sluts. So why would they get mad at me for saying, "Are you a slut?" Is your mama a slut? Remember that? This one black girl proud to be a slut, and she's like, "Everybody's a slut, everybody." She was naming everybody, and I said, "Is your mama a slut?" "My mama." So why would they get mad at me if they were proud to be sluts? That makes sense, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I said, well, she said, "Well, she said, you a slut, Jesse. Men are sluts." I said, "No, men can't be sluts." "Well, what are men?" "Slut makers." And now everywhere I go to the gym and other places, those guys be saying, "I'm a slut maker." They want to buy the t-shirt and everything. Amazing. Any questions for me?
No questions, Jesse.
Okay. Here and then there, and then I got to end it. But I got this one thing to halfway share, and then I got to end. Yes, Michael.
We have a super chat from Jean Wise.
Thank you, Jean.
And the question is, what does it mean to be baptized by fire?
I don't know. I've never done that. I think they say that it means the Holy Spirit come upon you, and that the Holy Spirit is like fire, but that's made up stuff. But I think that's what it means. I think that's what it means. I don't know. I got to ask the Lord about that one. Not sure, but it's a good question.
And I had a separate question.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, are Christian values American values?
Yes. This country was built on those values. That's why we became the light on the hill, the shining light on the hill, because the other world was not doing it, and we were. That's what made us so good. That's why they're trying to put out the lights now. You put out the light of man, the light is out. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
I find your organization very interesting, and that you also say on some of your videos that men are being attacked. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
Have you taken your message to the prison population?
Yes.
Especially young men?
Yes.
'Cause-
It's real. It's very interesting when we go to the prisons and jails. A lot of those guys are in there for murdering, robbing, all kind of stuff. And when they hear how that anger started, what drove them, they start crying. Because they're like, why didn't somebody tell me this? They didn't know all they had to do was forgive. And they admit that they all hate their mothers and they yearn for their fathers. Okay. But no one never told them, hey, you need to go and forgive your mother, and explain it to them. Okay. It's an awful feeling.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good question. So listen, I got to tell you this. Oh, last week, the young lady, his mother, the young lady that was sitting there, she said that we are a cult. Remember that? And so I would think about that all week. That's why I like when my enemies speak too, because you can learn from it. I'm like, what is a cult? And so I thought about it all week, just thought about it, and I realized that the whole world is a cult. It really is. Just think about it. You have a group of people out there saying abortion is a woman's choice. All they're doing is repeating what someone else said. That's a cult, and they're following that idea. You have people out there who think racism exists, and they only think it and say it because someone else said it. That's a cult. You have people who have read the Bible, right? And they think that all you got to do is read the Bible, and so they start quoting the Bible to you. Nothing deep, just quote the Bible. That's a cult. Everything is a cult if what she said is. And I know we think of cult as Jim Jones, and I guess that is too because you follow another man, right? But here's one, and I thought, why is that? Why is that happening? What I realized is that you have to be careful not to hold on to words. Because I've noticed that even in this church, some people hear my words, and they'll say, no, I'm not going to hold on to them, but they'll start repeating my words. They'll go out and attack people and get in bad situations because Satan deceive you to make you think you know the truth. He will use my words to make you think that you know the truth. And all you're doing is believing a lie, and you're going out there now repeating me, and you find yourself in situations because you're not hearing it from God. You're not allowing it to be revealed to you, right? And so when you start repeating me and end up in bad situations, they'll say, oh, you're in a cult. Because they can see all you're doing is repeating me. I don't repeat people. If I don't know, I don't know. If it's revealed to me to know, I got started because it was revealed. The question he asked, how did you know you had to forgive? It was revealed to me that I needed to forgive. And so I want to encourage you to don't do that. And how many of you know when God is revealing, or you just learn something and you think that you know it? How many of you can recognize that? Oh, good. Yeah, you got to recognize, did I really get this from God, or am I just repeating Jesse or someone else? All right? You have to, because Satan is real slick. He'll make you think that you know something that you don't know. I had a friend of mine who would repeat me, and he would when I would travel, I would come back and tell him all kind of stories that happened. How I had a fight with the flight attendant or somebody, right? And so, and it would always turn out well. And so he was repeating me, so he went out and did that. He had a fight. He was at the airport one day, had an argument with the flight attendant, they almost put him in jail. I was like, that's because you repeat me. When you are guided by God, things happen perfectly at the right time, at the right moment, and you don't end up in trouble. You know what I mean? So I really want you to be careful with that. All right? Otherwise, you'll make me into that, I guess, and I won't know. I don't have a cult. You guys don't even give me enough money. And And none of y'all follow me. When I go home, I go by myself. I don't even want no coat. And I want you to be free. I want the same God within that's guiding me to guide you. And I got my information from him. And then we come in fellowship together. But I'm not your leader. Don't quote this stuff. And some of you guys are going out there wearing mega hats and stuff like that because you heard me say speak up. But that's not the right way to do it. You don't go looking for trouble. Don't put on your mega hat just to have trouble. You end up getting killed. You have to be guided how to do it. And then when you're led to do it, it's done in the right way. All right, that makes sense? Just because I say speak up, that don't mean you go looking for, I don't look for trouble. I allow God to put me into place, and whatever I need to do, he'll work through me and it'll turn out well. So when I say speak up, I don't mean just come up with crazy stuff. Tell everybody you hate your mama or put on a mega hat and all that. That's crazy. I want you to be able to see that you listen to the wrong voice. And think with God, he loves us, so he's going to cause things to happen in the right way, at the right time. Otherwise, be quiet and just live your life. Just be. And you'll see when to speak up, when not to, when to wear your hat, when not to. I wore my T-shirt to the barbershop yesterday. It says, "The Great White Hope." And it had President Trump face on it. And we all had fun at the barbershop. And they don't agree with me at all about it. One guy, an older man, was there. He couldn't hardly see. I got right in his face. They're like, "Look at just a T-shirt." And I got rid of him. He was like, "Oh, my God, no. I hate him. You shouldn't have that." I hate him, right? But it was all in fun because of the right timing. And God will put you in places at the right time. You can't be quoting me or think you're standing up and at the wrong time. Anybody ever done that? Yeah. And one last thing, because I can't take questions. Stop looking for leaders. God is your leader. I don't have a leader. I do not have a physical leader. The president is my president, but he's working for me. And right now he's trying to do the job that I hired him for, and I'm grateful. But he's not my leader. Christ is my leader, my brother. God is my leader. And he's in all of you, and he will lead you if you doubt words. Let words pass through your ear. Don't hold on to them. And you'll see what to do. Stop acting out, folks. Anybody ever done that? You've done that? Tell me real fast what happened.
It was kind of a process that you bringing this up in the last couple of days, it came to my attention that, I woke up for the most part, but then you do start doing it. You think you need to go and let everybody know.
Right.
But there's times where it works and you can see it feels good, and there's other times where
That's
it's
right.
right over their heads.
Yeah.
And it started to question it, but then the last couple of days and you bringing this up, it really drove it home.
Oh, good, man. Yeah. A lot of these guys are going out there in the public and getting in trouble because they think they're speaking up. That's not the way to do it, folks. Just live your life. Just be, and the opportunity will come, and you will see what to do. And it will all work out just fine. All right, so be careful with that. And don't hold on to any, my words, don't hold on to them. And don't just start repeating them back. Because God is with you, and he'll allow you to see. All right? That makes sense? Yeah. All right. In the white shirt, you have one question or anything? I told you I'll come back to you. This is your first time here.
No question. I'm just glad to be here. And I appreciate the silent prayer. I'm doing it 2 to 3 times a day. And it's working, I feel.
Right on, man.
Thank you.
I'm glad you came, man.
Appreciate it.
One other thing, once you get to know yourself, you will know that Jesus exists. You're going to know that. Once you keep your eyes on yourself, because some people want to know, how do you really know Jesus exists, right? Once you know yourself, you have no doubt that Jesus is with you. And it ain't nothing like what you've been told. It's nothing like that. So make sure you keep an eye on yourself, be honest with yourself, and just don't go out there quoting my words. It'll be given to you what to do. All right? And then next Sunday, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, we're going to talk about why y'all think God is sex or made sex. That is so funny to me. I didn't know people thought this. I had no idea until somebody said it at the barbershop. Or a friend of mine said it. I can't say it at the barbershop. All right, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Don't forget we have counseling service, the best counseling service on this side of heaven. We have a home for young men, even though it's full right now. If you're looking for a place, you need to let us know, so if something pop up, we'll let you know. Don't forget to donate to us. We need your support, folks. We really need. We got a lot of stuff to do. We're looking for a new building now because they're going to tear this one down. And so we got to really save up for that as well. We have books and all that kind of stuff for sale, all right? And if you're interested in our Entrepreneur Academy, and you're a male 15 and over, make sure you get the information in. 1 pager is all that we ask, all right? And then we'll look at it. When we start the next class, we'll let you know. For all men, all men. And don't forget to pray, speak up, but don't resent, all right? And same thing applies to all of you. And I really appreciate you coming. And don't give up on yourself. If you have a step back, no big deal. Don't judge yourself. Let every thought go, and it'll just work itself out. God is with you, and stay with the prayer, all right? And I'll see you next Sunday. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hold on just a minute. Hold on.